Hi kids, it's Mrs. Roberts again. Welcome to my kitchen. I got another story for you today, and this story is about eggs. I have a friend at school who was asking me why her hens were not laying eggs. And so I have a story for her. Antoinette, this is for you. All right, here we go. The story today is called Mrs. Eggleston and Her Eggs. And it's by Mrs. Roberts. Here we go. Mrs. Eggleston and her eggs. Oh my. Mrs. Eggleston loved eggs. She loved to eat eggs. She loved fried eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets, eggs Benedict, quiche, and so on. It was not unusual for her to eat 4 eggs a day. Here she is, eating her breakfast. She's having eggs for breakfast. And let's take a look. Look, sunny side up, regular fried eggs, scrambled eggs with sausage, quiche. And eggs Benedict is eggs, they have some kind of bread on the bottom, and then they have a sauce on the top. Delicious. Mrs. Eggleston had a problem. Eggs were getting expensive. Every day the price seemed to go up. One day, Mrs. Eggleston decided it was time to get some hens, so she could always be supplied with plenty of eggs. First, she read as many books as she could find on raising chickens. Then, she watched YouTube videos. "I can do this," she cheerfully said to herself. Here's Mrs. Eggleston. She's ready to raise hens. Next, she had a luxury chicken coop built with a window, several perches, and the most comfortable laying boxes. As a special touch, she put curtains in the window. It was beautiful. She called it the chicken condo. And here's the coop. This is the outside. She decorated. And here's the window, the laying boxes for the hens, and the special curtains. Finally, Mrs. Eggleston bought some hens. Not just a few, but 12 cinnamon queen hens. She loved the sound of that. Cinnamon queen. "Now I'll always be supplied with eggs," Mrs. Eggleston said. And she had that happy glow that all new parents got. Here she is. You see the hen in the background? And she has that happy glow. The hens seemed very happy in their new coop, but they were not laying eggs. They just need time to adjust, Mrs. Eggleston thought. 2 weeks later, she still had not seen an egg. Mrs. Eggleston became exasperated. What should I do? she asked. "I've had these hens 2 weeks and no eggs." The hens are happy, not laying eggs. Someone suggested she try treats. "Excellent idea," she said. No eggs. She decided to try fresh vegetables. No eggs. Maybe they need more exercise, she thought. No eggs. A month passed by. Mrs. Eggleston's hens were happy, well-fed, and in shape, but they still weren't laying eggs. "This is getting to be very expensive," Mrs. Eggleston cried. "Eggs from the grocery store are expensive, and caring for hens that don't lay eggs is very expensive. I'm not sure what to do next," she exclaimed, and started cleaning the coop. So here are her happy hens. They're all very happy in the coop. So Mrs. Eggleston gives them treats. She gives them fresh vegetables. She makes sure they get exercise. As she cleaned, she started humming to calm herself down. The hens cooed along with her little song. Then Mrs. Eggleston started softly singing a little song. The hens hopped up into their laying boxes, swaying to the music. "That's it! The girls need music," she said excitedly. Mrs. Eggleston scurried to the house and found her old radio. She found a station with calming music and let it play all night long. So here are the hens. They're swaying to the music from the old radio she got. And what do? They love the music so much from the radio, they start getting into their boxes. And these were the laying boxes. Next morning, Mrs. Eggleston went to the chicken coop. She couldn't believe her eyes. All 12 hens had laid an egg. And here are the hens. All the hens had gotten in to lay an egg. And here are 2 of them. And she can't believe it. From that day on, Mrs. Eggleston would hum, sing, and play music for her cinnamon queens in the evening. And every morning she found that her cinnamon queens had laid 12 eggs. Now she could enjoy eating fresh eggs every day. Mrs. Eggleston's hens were truly exceptional, and so was Mrs. Eggleston for never giving up on her girls. But what to do with so many eggs? That is another story. The end. And here she is. So many eggs. What to do with so many eggs? We'll have to write another story about that. And here she is trying to decide what she's gonna do. The end. All right. Thank you guys for listening. As you can tell, this is from our little farm here, and I decided to write about my girls because I do talk about my hens to teachers and students alike, and I bring eggs into school a lot of times for my friends. So I just wanted to share this little story with you. Of course, it is fictional, kids. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will be reading to you soon. Bye-bye.